Good morning, students. In a previous class, that is class 2 of the chapter atomic structure, I already completed about some fundamental terminology, that is what is wavelength, frequency, velocity, relation between them, next wave number, amplitude, and some numerical related to it. Next, Rutherford atomic model, the failure of Rutherford atomic model. Next, Planck's quantum theory. Today, that is class 3 of the chapter atomic structure. I will try to complete a very important long question, that is Bohr's atomic model. Mark that. Bohr's atomic model. So before going to the Bohr's atomic model, let us recap what are the demerits of Rutherford atomic model. Two important points are there. Point 1, according to him, that atomic model is compared with the solar system. That means nucleus compared with the sun, while the revolving electrons compared with the planet. But actually it is wrong. That means nucleus electron is the very small in size, low mass, and are negatively charged, while the planets, revolving planets, are massive and no charge. And point 2, this model unable to satisfy the stability of an atom. According to scientist Clerk Maxwell, that when a charged particle revolves around the attractive forces, it loses energy continuously, as a result of which it follows a spiral path, comes nearer to the nucleus, and finally bombardment on the nucleus, as a result of which atom collapse. Mark that. It is the nucleus. So it follow a spiral path. It is the electron, moving electron, follow a spiral path and finally comes nearer to the nucleus, finally bombard with the nucleus, as a result of which atom collapse. But actually it is not happening. These are the two important drawbacks of Rutherford atomic model. So in order to overcome these 2 points, Danish physicist Niels Bohr gave some postulates, and according to him, that is known as Bohr's atomic model. This is based upon the Planck's quantum theory. The various postulates of this theory are 5 to 6 points are there. Point 1, that means the atom consists of a massive charged center, that is known as a nucleus, while electrons are revolving around it in a particular path, circular path, known as orbit or shell. Next, as long as the electron revolve in a particular that path, neither lose energy or gain energy continuously. The different energy level are represented by the capital letter K, L, M, N, etc. Next, the energy is quantized. The energy of a particular cell, energy of the particular level is quantized, given by the expression, that is En is equal to minus E1 by n square. That means energy of the nth orbit equivalent to energy of the first orbit divided by number of orbit. Mark that. Here, the main important point is that this model is meant for hydrogen atom or hydrogen-like species containing only one electron. So while deriving some expression, that means for calculation of energy, for calculation of velocity, for calculation of radius, simultaneously we derive two expressions. One is for the hydrogen atom, electron in hydrogen atom, and for other like hydrogen like species, that means all the ions having one electron. Next is, as long as electron revolves in a particular orbit, they never lose or gain energy. Next, so many paths are there. Out of the various paths, only that path is allowable for the electron revolving around the nucleus, in which the angular momentum, that is L, is equal to mvr, is equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. That is, L is equal to mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. That means m and v are the mass and tangential velocity, while r is the radius of the orbit, radius of the electron, where h is a Planck's constant, we know, that is 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule per second. Next point is there, that means the lowest energy state, since while revolving around the nucleus, electron never lose energy, it implies that at any condition electron never comes nearer to the nucleus and there is no chances of collapse, that means atom exists. Next point, by gaining energy from any other sources, electron jump from one energy level to another energy level, lower energy level to higher energy level, that is from E1 to E2. So the difference in energy, that is E2 minus E1 or del E, is directly proportional to the frequency of radiation. That is del E proportional to nu, or del E is equal to h nu. So these are the various postulates of Bohr-Schacht's atomic model. Let us write one by one. The point one, note down the various postulates of this model point by point. Bit one is, that is, an atom consists of a massive positively charged nucleus. That is, point one is, an atom consists of massive positively charged nucleus, while electrons are revolving around the nucleus, in a circular orbit without radiating energy. While electrons revolving around the nucleus with a circular orbit without radiating energy. That means as long as the electron revolve around the particular orbit, particular cell, not loses energy continuously. Move to the second point. Next point is there. That means the energy associated with different energy level. Mark that. The second point, that is, the energy associated with different energy levels, the energy associated with the different energy levels are known as energy cell or energy level, are known as energy cell or energy level. The energy associated with different energy level, the energy associated with different energy level are known as energy cell or energy levels. These energy associated by these energy represented by the letter. Next, it is represented by letter E1, E2, E3, dot, 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 and so on. That means energy, if we remember that the energy of the first cell, that is K cell, energy is E1, energy of the second cell, that is E2, energy of the third cell, that is E3. In such a way that if we move away from the nucleus, then the energy of the different energy level increases. That means we say that E1 less than E2 less than E3 less than E4, such that E2 minus E1 greater than E3 minus E2 greater than E4 minus E3. Next, mark that, the next point. Next point, the letter K, L, M, N, etc. represents the different energy levels, Next, the energy of the orbit increases when it moves away from the nucleus. That means E1 less than E2 less than E3 less than dot dot dot, or one can say that E2 minus E1 greater than E3 minus E2 greater than E4 minus E3, and so on. Mark that. I repeat again, energy of the first cell is represented by E1, second cell E2, third cell E3. That means when electron move away from the nucleus, energy of the particular cell increases such that E2 minus E1, the difference between two nearest consecutive energy level, is represented as E2 minus E1 greater than E3 minus E2 greater than E4 minus E3, and similarly. Next point, the energy associated with the energy level. Next point, the energy associated with the energy level is given by the expression. Next point, the energy associated with an energy level is represented as En is equal to minus E1 by N square, where E1, that means, is equal to 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joule per atom. Mark that, the expression for calculating energy, that is energy of the first cell E1, that is equal to 2.18 into 10 to the power 18 joule per atom, or if we represent in form of electron volt, If we represent this energy in different way, one is in electron volt per atom, in kilocalorie per mole, also we can write kilojoule per mole. If we represent in form of electron volt per atom, then it is minus 13.6, or En is equal to minus 13.6 by n square electron volt per atom, or one can represent it as, that is En, that is equal to minus 313.6 by n square, minus 13.6 by n square kilocalorie per mole, or one can write also, that is one also represent that, that is En is equal to minus 1312 by n square kilojoule per mole. So different values are there in different unit. One is kilojoule per mole, mark that. One is electron volt per atom, and one is kilocalorie per mole. These are the expression, I repeat again, these are the expression for an electron of a hydrogen atom. And if we calculate for hydrogen like species, then we have to multiply. Then we have to multiply another term, that is Z square. Mark that. En is equal to minus 1312 into Z square by n square, that is kilojoule per mole, into Z square EV per atom. And for hydrogen like species also, En is equal to Z square kilocalorie per mole. Here represent that. Here two term is there. One is Z and one is N. N represent the number of cell, first cell, second cell, third cell, while Z represent, that is atomic number. So for hydrogen like species, what do we mean by hydrogen like species? That is He plus, Li2 plus, Be3 plus, all the system where it contain only one electron. That means Bohr's model is applicable for hydrogen atom or hydrogen like species with having only one electron. Move to the next point, that is, as long as the electron revolve in a particular orbit, mark that, next point, as long as an electron revolves in a particular orbit, as long as electron revolves in a particular orbit, it is neither lose or nor gain energy continuously. As long as an electron revolves in a particular orbit, it is neither lose nor gain energy continuously. It implies that the energy, it implies that the energy of an electron in a particular orbit, it implies that the energy of an electron in a particular energy cell remain constant. It implies that the energy of an electron in a particular cell remain constant. That is why each orbit is also known as energy level. That's why each orbit also known as energy level or energy cell. Next point, out of a large number of orbits. Next point is, out of so many orbits are there, but each orbit are not allowable. I repeat again, out of a large number of orbits, that orbit is allowable for an electron in which the angular momentum, that is L, is equal to mvr, the integral multiple of h by 2 pi. Next point, note down next point. Out of a large number of orbits, next point, out of a large number of orbits, only that one is permitted in which its angular momentum, that is L is equal to mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, where n is the number of orbits and h is a constant known as Planck's constant. Planck's constant, and its value is 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34. 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Mark that. The value of Planck's constant is 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. It indicates that the angular momentum is, it indicates that the angular momentum is 1h by 2 pi, 2h by 2 pi, 3h by 2 pi, but not 1.3h by 2 pi, 3.4h by 2 pi. That means it indicates that angular momentum also quantized. That means it indicates that the angular momentum is also quantized. I repeat again, out of a large number of orbits, only those orbits are allowable for an electron in which angular momentum is integral multiple of h by 2 pi. That means it may be 1h by 2 pi, 2h by 2 pi, 3h by 2 pi, but not the decimal or fraction value, where n is the number of orbits and h is known as the Planck's constant. Next point, that is, the energy is emitted or absorbed discontinuously in the form of small packet or bundle only when there is the electronic transition from lower to higher, that is from E1 to E2. Mark that. Next point. Energy is emitted or absorbed discontinuously. Energy is emitted or absorbed discontinuously in the form of small packets or bundle only when there is the electronic transition between the two energy level represented by E1 and E2. Mark that. If the lower energy is represented by E1, higher energy represented by the E2, then the difference in energy. That is next point. The frequency of radiation the frequency of radiation depends upon the energy difference, that is E2 minus E1 is equal to del E proportional to nu, or del E is equal to h nu. We know h is a constant known as Planck constant. That means the difference in energy also directly proportional to the frequency of radiation. Higher is the energy difference, higher is the frequency of radiation. Move to the next point. That means in the lowest energy level, next point is, if we say that lowest energy level, that is a K cell, as long as the electron revolve in the lowest energy cell, not loses energy continuously. That means that's why this cell is otherwise known as the stable state or a ground state or the normal state. I repeat again, when the electron is the lowest energy state, that is in K cell, it neither loses energy continuously. It indicates that that energy level is known as the ground energy level or a ground state, otherwise it is also known as normal state. Next point is, when the electron in an atom, next point note down, when an electron in an atom present in the lowest energy state, that is K cell, it does not lose energy. That's why first cell or K cell is known as normal state or ground state. Next point, from gaining energy from any other source. By gaining energy, when electron gains energy from any other source, jump from lower energy to higher energy level. Next point, by gaining energy from any other sources, electron jump from lower energy level to higher energy level. Which is known as excited state. However, being unstable, excited electron loses energy. Excited electron loses energy and jump down to its ground state. Mark that. By gaining energy from any other source, electron jump from lower energy level to higher energy level, as a result of which that energy level is an unstable state, that is known as excited state. However, the excited state being unstable, that electron jump down from higher energy level to lower energy level. That is, during this energy transformation, during this jumping, it loses energy, that is proportional to the frequency of radiation. That is, if lower energy is known as E1, higher energy known as E2, then difference in energy, that is E2 minus E1, directly proportional to the frequency of radiation, that is E2 minus E1 proportional to nu, or E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. Then we discuss another one expression, that is the radius of the stationary state of hydrogen atom. Mark that. Next point. The radius of the stationary state of hydrogen atom is given by the expression that is Rn is equal to R1. The radius of the stationary state of the hydrogen atom is given by the expression that is Rn is equal to R1 into n square. Mark the relation. Rn is equal to R1 into n square, where R1 is known as Bohr's radius. Bohr's radius is equal to 0.529 angstrom. That is 0.529 angstrom, and n is known as number of orbit. Mark that. That is, the radius of the stationary state of hydrogen atom is given by the expression Rn is equal to R1 into n square, where R1 is known as orbit, radius of the first orbit, that is known as Bohr's orbit, whose value is known as 0.529 angstrom, and n is known as the number of orbit. It is the expression for calculating the hydrogen atom. Next, if you discuss for hydrogen-like species, next we calculate for hydrogen-like species. For hydrogen-like species means He plus, Li2 plus, etc. The value is Rn is equal to R1 into n square by Z. That means Rn is equal to R1 into n square by Z, where Z is known as the atomic number, n is known as the cell, K cell, first cell, second cell, third cell, where Z is known as the atomic number. That means already we covered the expression for calculating energy. Next one, the expression for calculating radius. Next switch over to an expression for calculating the velocity of an electron for hydrogen, simultaneously hydrogen-like species. Next point, that is the velocity of an electron, that is the velocity of an electron is given by expression, a relation, that is Vn is equal to V1 or V0 by n. Mark that, where V0 is equal to 2.18 into 10 to the power 8 centimeter per second. That is velocity for the first orbit, and n is known as number of orbit. Mark that. The expression for calculating the velocity, Vn is equal to V0 by n, where V0 is known as the velocity of the first orbit, that is 2.18 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. It is an expression for hydrogen. Then we move to similarly for hydrogen-like species. The expression is Vn is equal to V0 into Z by n. Mark that. For hydrogen-like species, The expression is Vn is equal to V0 into Z by N. I repeat again, where Z is known as the atomic number and N is known as the number of cells. So very important 3 point. One is calculation of energy, one is calculation of velocity, one is calculation of radius for hydrogen and hydrogen like species, that is for system containing one electron. Note down another 1 point is there, that is to calculate the number of lines, to calculate the number of spectral lines when electron jump from nth level to the ground level. Mark that. Next point is maximum number of lines produced when an electron jumps from nth orbit to ground state is given by an expression given by, that is n whole into n minus 1 by 2. This is known as the number of spectral line produced. Number of spectral line produced when an electron jump from nth level to the ground state, that is K cell, that is number of line produced is equal to n into n minus 1 by 2. N is known as the number of, that is second cell, that is third cell or fourth cell, the number of cell. Suppose an electron jumps from fifth cell to the ground cell, then the value is fifth whole into fifth minus 1 by 2. This is the number of lines produced. These are some outcoming of Bohr's atomic model. Let us apply this concept to solve a number of questions. Mark the question. What are the data given? That is the first ionization energy of hydrogen. That is the first ionization energy of hydrogen is E. Then calculate the ionization energy of He plus. We know that. Mark the answer. We know that the expression, answer B21. We know that the expression for calculating energy we know that the expression for calculating energy, that is En is equal to E1 into Z square by N square. We know the expression, that is energy of the nth cell is equivalent to energy of the first cell into Z square by N square. Mark that here. E1 energy is given, that is E into Z, that is atomic number, that is 2 square. First cell, that is N is equal to 1. That is, mark that. Energy of the first cell is taken as E, and Z is known as atomic number. For helium it is 2, first cell it is 1, so that is 4E. That means the ionization energy of He plus is 4E. Move to the second one. Mark the second one. What is the second question? That is calculate the radius. We know that. Second one, answer. We know that the required expression for calculating velocity, calculate the radius, calculating radius, that is Rn. We know the expression for calculating the radius of the nth orbit, that is Rn is equal to R1 into n square by z. R1 into n square by z. Again we know R1, that is 0.529 angstrom into n square by z. N means the first orbit, z means atomic number. That means 0.529 angstrom by 2 is equal to 0.2645 angstrom. This one is the radius of the first orbit of He plus. Move to the third one. What is the third one? That means if the velocity of the electron, mark the third question. That is, if the velocity of the electron in first Bohr orbit of hydrogen atom is x, then calculate the velocity of electron in second orbit. In second orbit of Ha plus. Answer. We know that the required expression, for calculating velocity is equal to, that is Vn is equal to V1 into Z by n. For hydrogen like species, that is velocity of the nth cell. Velocity of the nth cell is equal to Vn is equal to V1 into Z by n. Z is known as atomic number, n is known as the number of cell. Here question is there, for calculating the helium, atomic number is 2, and for calculating second orbit, that is n is equal to 2. By putting Z is equal to 2, n is equal to 2, and V1 velocity is given x is equal to x into 2 by 2, cancel, is equal to x. That is velocity of the electron in second orbit of Ha plus is equal to x. It is some numerical relating to energy, velocity and radius of an electron for hydrogen and hydrogen-like species. And lastly, the most important one, while you calculating the energy, a negative sign there. Why? What is the significance of a negative energy of an electron? Mark that. When an electron is at an infinite distance, then there is no electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the valence electron. There is no work is done. That's why the energy of an electron taken as the zero. On the other hand, when the electron comes nearer to the nucleus, then it does some work. Means it spends some energy. That means it loses energy from zero. That's why electronic energy is taken as negative.